And we are live. Well, hello, everyone. It's Casey Washington, and I'm here for the Wellness Wednesday Wonderings. And I have a fantastic guest with me today, Dr. Yvette McQueen. And we're going to continue the conversation about saying no. And we're talking about the health benefits of saying no. But before we get started, and before Dr. Yvette gets to say hello, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about her. But I'm going to put on these reading glasses so I can see what I'm saying. All right, so Dr. Yvette McQueen is a global physician on a mission to educate about health, wellness, and disease prevention. She is an emergency medicine and concierge travel physician. Dr. McQueen is a 4 times bestseller author, speaker, consultant, a CPR first aid instructor, wilderness emergency care training. I want to hear more about that, and international teaching for the American Heart Association. She has traveled to 40 plus countries exploring organized medical missions to Africa, hospital training and teaching in Rwanda and Tanzania. I want to say Tanzania. That's what one of
And then,
my and participate in international church missions. She's also the executive producer on the award-winning PBS travel show Fly Brother. Dr. McQueen is a wellness lifestyle coach, a board of directors member of the Wellness Tourism Association, and hosts CME trips and retreats. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Yvette. How are you?
hey, how are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for coming on with me today.
Thank you. I was trying to pull this up on Facebook. It don't want to act right.
Oh no, oh
Is it
no.
Wellness Wednesday Wanderings? That's it,
Yes,
right?
yes, that is it.
Yeah. It says live now, share. So I'll just share anyway. So there you go.
Perfect, perfect. All right. So last week I came on and I talked about how difficult it is for some people to say no. And, you know, some people responded that they have no problem saying no, but the majority were like, yeah, it's hard for me to say no. And we went through the reasons of why it is difficult. And something interesting came up that is more difficult for women to say no. And I think that's true because they said we're raised up to say no. But what we want to hear from you today is how saying no can be a health benefit.
Okay, great. So hi everybody. Like you said, I'm Yvette McQueen, MD. And we're talking about wellness and saying no. So yeah, it's kind of in our nature. They say nurture versus nature. And I think it's a little bit both when it comes to females because we've watched our grandmother or mother, auntie, somebody always being there nurturing us, taking care
Mhm.
of us, and we don't know how to say no. We feel like it's supposed to be part of like, oh, even if it's just like, I'll be right back. Can you watch the 2 kids? You'd be like, okay, yeah. So yes, it's kind of in our nature and nurture. But saying no actually can be very beneficial for your health. And that's what we're going to talk about today. How can saying no be beneficial for your health? So when we talk about no, when you first think of no, N-O, you, the first thing that comes to mind when people talk about saying no, I think of 2-year-olds.
Mhm.
When they first start talking, and that's the first word that they know. Even when they want to say yes, they say
No,
no because they can't get the yes. Do you want to eat this?
no.
No. And then they grab it and eat it because no is so easy to come out. So we need to revert one back to our childhood, okay? And think about what's your first thought what comes out. So if the first thought is to say no, say no. That's simple. Just say no. Two, you have to be honest with yourself. Honesty is a great policy. We've been told that. Now, of course, if you just evil like that and don't want to be honest, then don't be honest with yourself. But being honest with yourself actually gives you affirmation. It does. You're honest with yourself and your body and how your feelings are. You're honest with your emotions. A lot of people talking about women and their emotions. And why is emotions good for wellness? We were once again nature over nurture. And women, I'm sorry, God made women with extra emotions. He gave us that extra emotion. He gave us that extra intuition for a reason. For a reason. So use it and use your emotions and be honest with yourself. Just dig down, be honest with yourself. How do you feel? And it will give you basically positive affirmations if you're honest with yourself. Positive affirmations with your positive affirmations is gonna basically wake you up and make you feel good. We're gonna talk about feel good chemicals in a minute.
Okay.
Uh, thirdly, when saying no, remember, don't apologize. You know, I'm sorry, but no. I'm sorry. Let me say this. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry for you expressing yourself as a human being. Okay. Don't be sorry for you actually having an opinion and using your brain. Don't be sorry because you actually sometimes do want to be selfish and do self care.
That's true.
Right. But we women, they say women will apologize 9 times more than men. Yes.
Really, 9 times? That's a
Women will
lot.
apologize 9 times more than men. Yes.
That's too much.
Yes. Yes. And it's like, I'm sorry. Well, what you got to be sorry about? Well, I apologize, but let me ask this one last question. No, just ask the question. Just ask the question. So, and then lastly, you got to remember we taught no is a full sentence. No, no, period. No
No.
explanation. Because people like come to you and say, "Can you do such and such?" No, and then we go into a little soliloquy. We write a chapter of why we said no. You don't have to explain to anybody, really. You
It's a
explain to
small
yourself.
word. It's a
Yeah,
small word, but it's a
it's a
powerful
sentence.
word.
It's a full sentence, a powerful full sentence. Remember that. So, how is this going to be helpful? One, doing all that by saying no, by being satisfied, selfish, by being honest to yourself, by just not apologizing, actually causes an inner calmness in yourself. So by saying no, when you, especially if you really mean it, I'm not saying say no just to say no. I'm
Mhm.
saying if you really mean it, if you really mean no, say no, unapologetic, no explanation, and it gives you a little calmness, like, oh, I stuck up for myself. I'm okay. The sky didn't fall because I said no. And you actually get a calmness. Now, when you're calm in your life, that reduces your cortisol level. This is a
Hmm.
little chemistry here.
Yeah.
Cortisol is, you think about, and one of your organs in your body is your adrenal gland that makes your adrenaline, that makes you, and then it also makes cortisol. So, cortisol is a hormone that's very important for your body mechanisms. But when it comes to high stress, you're not calm, your cortisol level is increased. Now, that cortisol level, we always talk about a curve in medicine or science. So, all my scientists out there, if you're out there, a curve goes up and then it comes back down. That's what a curve is supposed to do.
Hmm.
That's what cortisol level. So you get stressed, something's going on, situation resolved, it come back down. If you remain stressed and don't have that calmness in your life, that cortisol comes up and it stays up, stays up, stays up. Hypercortisol. And guess what that's going to do? Increase your risk for heart problems, increase your risk for hypertension, increase your risk for type 2 diabetes.
Oh my goodness.
Exactly. And all other things, you end up having, and think about if you're stressed, it affects your stomach. You have that stomach ache. Ugh,
Yeah.
you have that stomach ache, or you are you go to work and you have that headache. People tell me they would drive up to work have an instant headache. That's a high stress level. You're in your
Yeah.
stress mode. You're not calm because you're going to go in and your boss is going to ask you to do something. You really won't do it. And they're going to give you like 10, 15 things more. And you really like, can I really say no?
Yeah. That
So,
pressure.
yes,
That pressure
pressure.
of, well, I really need my job, but
I
I
know you
really
really
need
need your
to say
job,
no.
but sometimes you do have to say no and say, um, can this wait or can I divide this work with someone else? There's always alternatives. There's
Hmm.
always alternatives. And if you're, I'm be honest with you, if your job is ruining your health, you need to rethink it because you are just another warm body.
True. I've had that experience before. Believe
I've
me.
had that experience in medicine too, and I felt that. I felt that in medicine too, and I just like, okay, I'm just a warm body because they just need somebody here for the shift. They really didn't care that I had something scheduled, and they called me up and said, "Can you do this extra shift?" Because blah 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 blah, and, and I didn't say no.
And
And
then you
then
were
I'm more
stressed.
stressed. I'm more stressed because not only working an extra shift, now I'm thinking about everything that I should have did at home.
Yeah, and sometimes we say no to the wrong for the wrong reasons. Like one time, I'm going to work. I had the worst headache I ever had, and a friend kept saying, "You need to go and check your blood pressure. You need to do that. You need to stop at the ER or something."
Hmm.
No, I got to go to work. I got to go to work. No, no, no. I finally did follow her advice, and the blood pressure was sky high, like
Wow.
199 over 120 or something. And so somebody told me, you got to let the doctor told me, well, you can either let that job go or you can let your life go. Which one you want?
Yeah, that's what someone in the comments said too. That's true. She had to leave her job because it was just too stressful.
Yeah.
Jobs can be too stressful. So you have to look for an alternative. So yeah, so saying no keeps you calm, and it will keep that cortisone level down, decrease your stress level, and decrease your risk for all those chronic diseases that we end up running into.
Yeah. Especially women of color and people of
Definitely us.
color.
Definitely us. Yes. Okay, so the second reason no is good for your body is because once again, if you say no and you're honest with yourself, you actually sometimes feel satisfied. I feel satisfied that I said no, that I could be truthful with my emotions or my answers. And when you're satisfied, you produce those happy hormones in your brain. Happy hormones we call dopamine. So some people know dopamine is, that they say the happy hormone that you get after sex. So guess what? Sometimes no can be as
Just
satisfying
as
as
satisfying.
sex. So think about that. Sometimes no. So yes, it produces that satisfying hormone in your brain to say, "Hey, I feel good about myself. I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with just working." Because I used to when I was young, I'd be like, "You want to work a double? Yeah."
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with going in and working my shifts and leaving. I don't need the extra because then I'm like, okay, if I work extra, I got some more time consuming, less time. Now I'm bringing, and for me, I'm like, now I got to pay more taxes, and like, no,
Right. And then when you get home, you're dead.
yes, you can't relax.
You can't relax.
You
You
can't
cannot.
relax. That's what I noticed. The more I work, I couldn't relax and do what I wanted to do. So yeah, so saying no sometimes is satisfying. Saying no, no,
And I want to say it like 2 years. No, no,
no,
and keep it
no.
moving.
They keep it. I had my last month. Someone they said, "Well, we have a doctor that's no showing up. Can you stay extra day?" No, and then they're still standing there, like looking at me. I was like, "What's going
No,
on?" Oh, you want me to explain why I'm not staying? I'm not telling you.
no, no means no. That's enough right there.
Full sentence. Full sentence. Okay, and then lastly, saying no, it gives you self empowerment. You're empowered. Women need to be empowered. Women need to stick up for themselves. And I should just say women because men are out there too. But no, it empowers you because you know what's going on with your body and yourself, what you need to do. And so it empowers you to take care of yourself. Once again, self care is not selfish.
No, it's not.
Okay. So wellness is not selfish. So you increase your self confidence, increase your self worth. And that all is going to, once again, reduce the stress levels. Actually, if you think about it, you increase your self worth and you increase your self confidence, you become more active. Now, once again, one key points of wellness is activity. To
Yes.
maintain a well body, you need to be active. Active every day, whether it's 30 minutes, an hour,
Mhm.
whether it's walking up steps. And I tell people, everybody don't need to get on that bike or that treadmill because everybody can't because people have joint problems and things like that.
Yeah.
So sometimes activity is walking or parking a little further or taking the steps
Hmm.
or I make sure I have these steep steps. I make sure I do keep doing those 10 times a day or something.
Yes.
So,
Keep
you
that
know
body
what?
moving.
Right. Movement. Right. But
Mhm.
empowerment, when you're empowered about something else, you get empowered about being active and taking care of yourself.
Yeah.
And that's going to keep you well and healthy.
I
So,
love walking. I love being outdoors and doing my 30 minutes to an hour. And while I'm walking, I'm thinking and I'm working out things in my brain and just, that's my no worry time,
de stressing.
de-stressing.
And also, you getting that vitamin D. You need that vitamin D. Everybody needs at least 30 minutes of vitamin D per day. And people feel, especially in the north, they're like, well, the sun's not out. Guess what? If it's daytime, the sun's out. You may not actively see that sun behind the clouds, but the sun is out and you still be able to get your
And you're
vitamin D
still
from the
getting
sun.
it. Yeah.
So, yes, out there walking is good. So,
Yeah. Even in the wintertime when
even in
it's
the wintertime, just be
freezing
careful.
cold out.
Careful, wear the white gear, bundle up so you don't get frostbite, and you can still stay well. So
Yeah.
that's my quick and dirty how to say no and stay healthy.
Well, I love it. I love it. I'm going to go in tomorrow and say no.
Think of your blood pressure. I'm gonna say no to increasing my blood pressure. I'm gonna say no to me being a risk of diabetes. I'm gonna say no to me having a heart attack
Definitely. Or stroke.
or stroke. Okay. I'm gonna say no to me having chronic fatigue because I work too much.
And
I'm
no to driving all over the city in
right.
traffic.
And I'm gonna say no to me not being able to have sun because I'm always inside working. I can't get out there and walk. Okay.
Right. You're
So this is what
destroying
you
my peace and harmony here.
yes, yes, yes. So saying no. Remember, but if you don't take anything away tonight, say saying no, some it can make you feel like you're having sex.
Uh, a lot of people will like that. Well, they'll like that analogy. Oh,
Exactly.
okay. All
There
right.
you go. So yeah.
Great. Well, this is great advice, and I'm going to take some of it myself, and I hope that our listeners will take take what you can, what they say, take what you can and, put the rest aside. But this is some good information, especially for hardworking people. And a friend of mine, she always says, it's just so hard for me to say no. And we keep saying, well, we're going to work on you. So baby steps, but we're going to work on you.
One thing I found out is as I got older, and I will say I am over 50. So I'm over 50. Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
I embrace it. But I found that as I got older, I said no more. And
Yeah.
sometimes you have to say no to your own family. And that kind of you have to look at it. It kind of hurts your heart for a minute, but you got to say, wait a minute,
Hmm.
is it going to overtax me?
Right.
I mean, we do all sacrifice for our family, our children, our friends, people we love. We do. But if you're constantly doing that and constantly not taking care of yourself, you are destroying your own body.
You are. And I say to parents with grown children, please let your children be grown. Let them adult and stay out of your pocket and you stay out of their business and just let them Be
Yeah.
self-sufficient. That's what we're supposed to do. And I hear stories all the time. My kid is 30 years old and they're asking me for money and I'm paying for their phone and blah 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 blah. No.
Mhm.
No is a good word for that. No. Let
Yeah.
them what they say, kick them on out that nest and out the
Mhm.
door. So yeah, it's a lot of
Fly, birdie, fly.
well, that song, yes. Up in the sky. Get out.
Oh,
All right.
I
Well,
hope I was helpful to people there about wellness and
sure.
no.
You were, and hopefully we can have some more conversations about being healthy, emotionally, physically. I'm sure there's some other topics that we can come together on. So thank you, and I hope to see you again soon.
Okay.
All right, take
Peace
care
and
now.
love.
Peace and
Bye.
love. Bye bye. Waiting for it to end. Come on.